In May of 2026, a mid-sized legal firm flipped a switch. Over a single weekend, an autonomous AI network reviewed 3,000 complex corporate contracts. That single weekend sprint equals 10,000 hours of billable human labor. To put that in perspective, a junior associate would need to work continuously for 4 years to match that output. And this system completed it while the office was entirely empty. The total server cost to process that massive multi-year equivalent workload was less than $300. This marks a transition from chatbots that simply answer questions to agents that act as independent operators. We are entering the reality of agentic AI. Instead of answering a question, these systems receive a broad goal. They autonomously reason through problems, click interfaces, and operate complex enterprise software to execute multi-step workflows without human intervention. This graph shows the sheer speed of this transition. Based on 2026 Gartner data, enterprise adoption of task-specific AI agents sat at less than 5% in 2025. By the end of 2026, that adoption rate is rocketing to 40%. This is the arrival of an autonomous labor force, one that resets the baseline for labor costs and production speed. When you factor in total benefits, the average U.S. knowledge worker costs a company roughly $120 per hour. Pitted against that human rate is the silicon hour, the cost of running AI API calls. Those machine hours cost a fraction of a single cent. Right now, engineers at top tech firms are running monthly API bills of roughly $500 to $2,000. In exchange for that small operating cost, they are producing the exact same work output of entire legacy departments. This corporate balance sheet visualization makes the math impossible to ignore. On one side, you have the heavy, ongoing expense of human employees at $120 an hour. On the other, the median Fortune 500 company is seeing annual cost savings of $340,000 per AI agent deployed. Human hourly rates mathematically cannot compete with this new ledger. The career paths we rely on today are economically unviable in their present form. The immediate casualty of this math is the entry-level knowledge worker. For decades, basic data synthesis and document review served as the foundational training ground for high-status careers, the essential first step for junior lawyers, financial analysts, and programmers. But 2026 implementation statistics show top 10 investment firms are already using AI agents to cut their meeting prep and due diligence time in half. That single integration immediately strips away 20,000 hours of human labor per year from these financial institutions. The impact goes beyond finance. PwC data demonstrates that deployed AI agents are reducing overall transaction processing cycle times across industries by an astonishing 80%. By fully automating these foundational tasks, companies are actively severing the bottom rung of the corporate ladder. They are destroying the exact mechanism by which junior employees learn to become senior experts. At this point, it is tempting to assume AI is simply a cheap plug-and-play solution. The reality is that deploying enterprise agentic AI is an incredibly resource-heavy endeavor. This token consumption visualization illustrates Stanford's 2025 and 2026 research. A simple chatbot interaction uses a small, fixed block of data, but agentic workflows consume 5 to 30 times more compute tokens, the basic units of data in AI processes, because the agent must continuously reread its own context and loop through multiple steps. Because of that massive resource draw, building an enterprise-grade AI system currently costs organizations between $100,000 and $300,000 entirely upfront. Corporations are paying those massive upfront fees willingly. The data shows that these systems achieve a 2.3x return on investment within just 13 months. Astronomical infrastructure costs no longer serve as a barrier to entry. They act as a calculated capital expenditure, deployed specifically to permanently eradicate recurring human payroll. And the Silicon workforce is no longer confined to internal corporate tasks. AI agents are now negotiating and transacting directly with other AI agents on the open market. Current 2026 estimates show that autonomous agents now initiate 23% of all purchase orders across major B2B platforms. Looking at this data flow visualization, you can see how this ghost economy operates in practice. These distinct agent nodes process an estimated $180 billion in annual procurement value, completely bypassing human coordination. not a single person has to click buy. As AI consumes external B2B purchasing alongside internal coordination, the middle management rungs of the corporate ladder are evaporating right alongside the junior roles. This leaves us with the most pressing question: is your specific job going to be eliminated? This workforce population graph maps out BCG's 2026 microeconomic modeling. The smaller path represents the substitution category, revealing that 10 to 15% of U.S. jobs face total elimination within 5 years. But the massive path represents the reshaped category. Within the next 36 months, 50 to 55% of all U.S. jobs will see their core responsibilities reorganized by AI integration. According to KPMG findings, companies utilizing this reshaped workforce see a 25% decrease in operational costs, alongside a 55% jump in efficiency. Holding on to a traditional job description is a failing strategy. The standard corporate ladder has been digitally paved over. The modern economy is experiencing a barbell effect. Career paths are aggressively splitting into two extremes: fully automated tasks on the bottom and highly strategic human oversight on the top. Right now, companies earn an average of $3.50 for every single dollar they invest in agentic AI. The top 5% of performers are hitting an $8 return. The massive capital previously spent on human departments is not disappearing from the economy. It is being rapidly reallocated directly to the individuals commanding these massive returns on investment. To intercept this wealth, you must change your relationship with technology. You have to transition from being a doer of manual tasks to an orchestrator of digital agents. Your future income will no longer be dictated by how many hours you can personally work. It will be determined entirely by how effectively you can manage the new silicon workforce.